Well, my camera's not working for a second here. We'll give that a moment to boot up. I don't know why. What is going on here? What's okay, I am already crashing out, my friends. Oh my gosh, my UCam is not camuing. There we go. There we go. There we go. My hair is chaotic this morning, boys and girls. It is absolute chaos, dude. I am. There we go. That's more of my face. I can never. I'm zoomed in so much. It's either like I get too much of too much of part of my head, but not all of my head. So I am always just falling apart at the seams. Just an absolute goon bag. Anyways, today I got a whole docket of stuff that we're gonna go through. The first thing that came across my page recently was this Jacob Sterline. Jacob Sterline. Now, I had seen this animation recommended as something that's just like insane on Reddit, and I have to I need to be covering more horror stuff. I really do need to cover more horror or like and like digital horror and stuff like that, especially considering I have just released the greatest, the best creepypasta podcast. It is a really good show. If you get a chance, make sure to go sub to Haunted Router. It is a passion project of mine. My co-host is an amazing guy, and I really just wanted to jump into this right away. This is called There's a Man in the Woods. Let's get right into it, boys. I can't see this type of car without thinking of, oh, Employee of the Month. There's this movie with Dane Cook called Employee of the Month where Jessica Simpson, I think is who it was. It might have been, yeah, it was Jessica Simpson. And every store she's worked at, she's slept with the Employee of the Month. So there's two guys. There's Dane Cook, who's like a slacker, and then there's the head cashier who drives his car, and they're both trying to bang Jessica Simpson. It's a hilarious movie.
There's a man in the woods. What a spectacle. Before the story started, this school was still respectable. My students used to skip down the hill to the honeysuckle, pluck a couple, and collect their nectar till they picked their fill. Except
No, dude. Is this gonna be a I take children story? Is this gonna be like a I murder children story? What a great way to start a stream, bro. They're picking flowers. I just watched a movie called The Pledge yesterday that like ruined my faith in humanity. If you haven't seen The Pledge with Jack Nicholson or Nicholas, I mean Jack Nicholas. Nicholson, yeah, it's Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholas or Jack Nicholson. So one of them's a professional golfer, the other's an actor. I always mix up because their names are basically the same. But anyway, you can't handle the truth. You need men like me up on that wall. That guy, he basically makes a pledge to somebody that he's gonna find their daughter's murderer, and it just has a terrible ending. I hated the ending. It was so depressing.
one obnoxious kid, Sid, who just watched them eat the flowers while he seethed and scowled because he couldn't bear to share his sweet treats throughout our recess hour. I remember Sid saying, "There's a man in the woods." That's how the rumors began.
What? What? Sid, this little douchebag who beats other children for picking flowers, is talking about a man in the woods. I mean, if Sid got kidnapped, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing. Jesus.
Of course, Sid had spotted him first.
Oh, bro's cooked. Bro's cooked. Do you see how much he's drinking? That's how you know somebody has seen something diabolical.
Poor kids. He got him immersed in his
Ooh, dude, I also like that his shoes are the only ones that are like drawn in a 3D style.
spiel about a serial killer whose gun barrel glint hints at peril. A visit to the nurse, or worse, a hearse, waiting just beyond the dale. The children saw him everywhere. Look, over there. That man had Batman ears. We swear. And crazy yellow eyes. We saw something rusty. His shotgun? It must be. I saw a lady's severed thigh.
Oh dear God, dude! This actually kind of goes into that cool idea of how kids can take a simple story and turn it into absolute horror. That's just what they do best, dude. It's like the creepy house on the end of the road. There's just an abandoned house. There's nobody that lives there. It's just falling apart. Nobody wants to buy it because it would cost too much to demolish it and build a new house there. So you end up with kids just making these like absolutely abhorrent stories about what's going on in that house. It's like devil worship. There's a demon in the basement. It eats children. This always happens. I remember this type of stuff when I was a kid.
Trust me, every word I heard was absurd. Yet each day, Sid would stray down way past the playground. Who else was brave enough to save us from the killer's next plot? The rest of the lot would stop back at the blacktop, sure that any closer they were bound to be found deep in the woods, left to rot. I pleaded for the kids to think and learn to be mature, but after a few more rumors doomed my attempts to prove the school was secure, their fear was undeterred.
Bro's just like, actually, there's a demon in the woods. You can't go near my flowers because there's a demon in the woods. And he's the only one he gives all the flowers to himself. What a little savage goblin child.
And when the buses drove them all home, the parents finally heard. Everything just blew up. I received a wall of emails and calls full of shrieks, wails, and all from terrified families who'd heard word of the murderer and didn't like my lack of action at all. What was I supposed to do? Comb the whole forest? Yeah, right. Would you? That means I didn't care? That's not fair. The stories that worried you weren't true. Of course I would feel regret had there been a real threat and I ignored it, and some poor kid got kidnapped.
Bro made the most dope poem of all time and then animated it. This is like The Raven, bro. This is straight up Edgar Allan Poe style horror. I love this, dude. I love this so much. Oh my god, this is brilliant.
While the kids were napping, but you couldn't admit that your good little kid would formulate a fib, so you ignored what I said. Your little angels could never cook up such incredible creations. An overactive imagination maybe, but my kid could never lie. How dare I? Accuse a child of being dishonest? Just monstrous. The parents were displeased, and when the PTA took action, they dismissed me from the classroom. Like they knew what was best for their kids. Do you know how difficult it is to get a job when a bitter mom slanders your rep with child neglect from the outset? Now who's in control?
Oh my god, dude. This is diabolical. This kid ruined this poor man's entire life because he didn't want to share his stupid flowers. What a goblin.
Your classes. Single file lines. Single file lines. Little vile swine, a killer by the pines. Really? Are you blind? Will you find your spines? Sid, a child decides to fill our minds with lies, and the next thing you see is people treating me like I'm committing crimes. I was in my prime. Those kids were lucky to have me. Do you see what you did? But I can play along. I can be good. Do you hear that, Sid? There's a man in the woods.
Oh my god. He killed the kid. Oh my god, he killed the kid, bro. Oh, that was so good, brother. Oh, dude, became like a coked out alcohol fiend who murdered a child for lying. What a brilliant horror story. This guy needs to publish this into a book. Like, I'm telling you, Jacob Sterling, you need to publish this into a children's story. You never show anything too graphic. And if people out there are like, oh, you shouldn't publish into a children's story, I want to remind you of a little book called The Rainbow Goblins. I used to get this read to me all the time. My parents are reading this to my nephew and stuff because they live in the same town. But if you look at it, the Rainbow Goblins have some of the most disturbing imagery ever put into a book. Like, these are the Rainbow Goblins, brother. These guys are absolutely insane. Their whole thing is they're greedy and they steal the rainbow. And because of their greed, they harvest too much and all die a horrible death. So, like, children's books have always been kind of disturbing. I think that story tells has a good message to say don't lie, lying's bad or whatever. And also don't trust random people in the woods. That's a good thing. Yeah, so that was incredible. I love this. This is absolutely one of the greatest things I've seen. This deserves more views. This deserves so many views. And now I know he's got a bigger sub count than me. I probably will not be able to signal boost this as far as I don't know. signal boosted that crazy, but if you watch this and you haven't seen this, if I'm the first person you're seeing this from, go give this as much love as possible and share it to your grandmother and your cousin. This was incredible, absolutely incredible. But that's all I got for that one, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. All right, we have Marvel's Unsettling Hero by Comic Drake. Comic Drake, I like his little comic book face here. He looks like a sweet boy. But we're gonna get into Marvel's Most Unsettling Hero. I think this is I've never even like saw the thumbnail for this one. If you look at like the thumbnail, I have never seen, his name's like Flamo or Flexo. So you go right here, it's Flexo. And I have never heard of Flexo. I actually have like the encyclopedia.
Now when I die.
The encyclopedia of all the Marvel characters, and this is not one I ever took note of. Probably because it looked boring and lame. But we are gonna get right into who Flexo is. I'm really excited about this.
Now when I die, bury me in my straight leg breeches.
There's something inherently creepy about a lot of old-timey characters. The thousand-yard stares, the unnaturally wide smiles, and the overly chipper attitudes that make you think that they must be hiding something. Horror games have been milking this aesthetic for years, to the point that it's become cliche. But what if I told you that
Except for there is a game coming out that like takes the cliche and it's deciding to do something a little bit different where it's not as creepy. It's called Mouse PI. I am so excited for when that game releases. I don't know. I haven't seen anything on its release date. So if you know anything about Mouse PI's release date, let me know in the comments.
Marvel had their very own character that dates all the way back to before Captain America was created, and have since turned him into the stuff of nightmares. This is Flexo the Rubber Man, a short-lived character from a series called Mystic Comics, who has been long forgotten to time until he came back in a huge and terrifying way.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, they had a stretchy guy before Mr. Fantastic. Flexo the Rubber Man. We got Iron Man Luffy is what we got here. Iron Man Luffy.
So, what's his deal? And what dark secrets lie behind that blank expression? Well, hello and welcome to Comic Drake, where I talk about comic books and my name is Drake. Let's talk about it. But before we get too far into things, I want to give a quick thank you to the sponsor of today's
Dude's got like 1,000-yard stare. The guy obviously makes good content. I'm saying I'm seeing this has got a good content vibe to it. But man, does this guy feel like he's staring his eyes through my soul and then blowing out my butthole on the backside. It is terrifying how intense this guy's stare is. I think that's just a glasses thing though. I'm not sure, but it might just be a glasses thing.
This video, Arena Club, because collecting trading cards is one of the small joys in my life, and I love to grab a pack of Pokemon cards whenever I can manage to
So if you want to check out his Arena Club, go to his channel. Again, that channel is called Comic Drake, and click on his link. This is from like a while ago, so it might not be an active link, but if you want to get in part of his Arena Club, go do that. I don't want to watch that though.
For sponsoring the video, but now, let's get back to it. First appearing in Mystic Comics #1 in 1940, Flexo was created by Will Harr and Jack Bender, back when Marvel was still known as
dude, think about this. Hold on. The guy that's rubber and bends stuff was made by a man named Bender. How ironic. Oh, the irony is just dripping on my face like warm, hot, like genital fluid. How grand.
Timely Comics. And if you're wondering why a stretchy robot showed up in a book called Mystic, well, at the end of his first story, it said that he would return in the next issue of Daring Comics. So I'm guessing that the book had a last-minute name change or something. Somehow, two US military scientists named Joel and Joshua Williams were able to create a robot out of what they called living rubber, which they then filled up with a secret gas. This creation, which they named Flexo, can stretch and contort his body in wild ways. He's as strong as an ox, he's fireproof, and bullet holes instantly seal up as soon as he's hit. Flexo can also fly through the air like a bird, knock people out with his internal gas, which, same, and
Dude has just like gas and he just like shoots gas out of his chest. A brother was built for serial killing.
Though his first appearance said that he's as
Bro's
fast.
got a chloroform gas that just shoots out of his chest. He loves frolicking the forests and kidnapping women.
As a bullet, it was downgraded in the next issue to just being as fast as an arrow. The Williams brothers are able to control their Rubber Man through a special remote control, and although it doesn't seem capable of speech, it appears that Flexo does have a degree of sentience, considering that he can wink. Honestly, I think the fact that these dudes were able to somehow create sentient life is their most impressive achievement. But we never found out how that was possible in the first place. See, Flexo only appeared in 4 stories, and they generally followed the same pattern. The scientists get into trouble, they call in their synthetic soldier right in the nick of time, he bursts in like the Kool-Aid Man to save them, and then he stretches.
Oh yeah, we got a Kool-Aid serial killer man, dude. We love this. We love Iron Man Luffy. I'm already like thinking he's based. Why did they stop him? They should have done the 40,000 comics. We would have a Flexo movie starring a washed-up NBA player in the 90s. This could have been great.
And squashes the bad guys and beats them up. You know, Popeye style. The stories do, however, escalate in tone. Like, issue 1 has Flexo taking down a mad scientist that's trying to steal radium. Issue 2, retrieve a stolen experimental propeller. Issue 3, save civilians from a burning building and apprehend the arsonists. But issue 4 had Flexo being called in to single-handedly overthrow a dictator. I mean, where do you even go from there? And clearly, the writer—
I know where you go from there. Where Marvel always goes. Next, you have to fight a global-scale catastrophe monster. And then you have to go to another universe, because obviously we gotta go to the multiverse in part 3.
didn't know either, because they told us that we'd get
another Flexo story in the next issue of Mystic Comics.
Which was a lie. There was never another one. Outside of a quick cameo and a photo with a bunch of other Golden Age heroes, Flexo wouldn't be seen again until the Marvel Zombies Destroy comic in 2012, where Howard the Duck, under the authority of the Alternate Reality Monitoring Operation—
Let's go. Howard the Duck is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time, by the way. I don't know if you guys, I actually have the Elite Edition. I don't know. It's like a book this big that has like a bunch of Howard the Duck comics in it. It's the only one I own of those type of comics, and it's just Howard the Duck. I was so fascinated by his character and how like stupid he is. I love the Howard the Duck comics.
National Response Agency, or ARMOR for short, recruits a bunch of classic characters to invade an alternate universe where the Nazis won World War II by turning into zombies before they can invade the main Marvel universe, because comics. Don't worry if that doesn't make too much sense, because Marvel pretty much forgot that ARMOR and this comic ever existed in the first place. But Flexo in this book is noticeably different than he was in the 40s. He's able to speak, looks a lot more mechanical, but he has these weirdly human-looking eyes. Oh, and now he has pants. Flexo is actually giving major G.I. Robot vibes in the best way possible, as the comic is just full of destruction porn as the heroes bloodily rip through hordes of the Nazi undead. That being said, although ARMOR was able to prevent the multiverse—
By the way, if you haven't seen the Creature Commando cartoon, it is actually pretty solid. I really liked it. What happens to G.I. Commando is kind of the most reasonable thing. He was a character that I liked, but I didn't see him having a lot of progression past Creature Commandos. Spoilers, I guess. Like, it can count as spoilers. But yeah, it's pretty solid. I really like Creature Commandos.
Invasion, Flexo got torn up and left behind as he was devoured by Thor's zombified goats. For fans of Marvel history, this was a neat way to acknowledge the company's past, but Flexo just didn't seem like one of those characters
I
that
do like the Ducky Dozen thing, like the zombie Nazi thing is whatever, but the Ducky Dozen is hilarious.
Would find interesting enough to do something with. However, a good writer can find a story inside even the smallest of details. So let's fast forward to 2023. Al Ewing had just taken over the Venom series and made a fascinating observation. Flexo is made out of living rubber, and that sounds a hell of a lot like a symbiote. Ewing used this to tackle the missing details of Flexo's backstory, like how is he sentient? Well, it turns out that the live rubber is actually a symbiote that the Williams brothers discovered inside of a meteorite, and although they tried and failed to replicate the material, one of the brothers accidentally cut their hand and bled into the petri dish, causing the live rubber to grow. This was a result of adrenaline in the blood, but they were able to achieve a
Ooh, it's a Venom character now. I like this. I like when they can take a character that, this is something cool. You see a lot in modern media where they just take a already existing character that has like endless lore about them, and then they just do whatever they want about it. They just kill it. They destroy it. They say, this is ours now and your history doesn't matter. But when they take something that was a character that was minorly used, it's only popped up a couple of times, has zero to no lore about them because they were a failed character, and then give them new life and make them a way more interesting character, that's cool to me. That's interesting.
Similar effect from the phenethylamine that can be found in chocolate. By feeding the sample
this is something I said that I kind of had a problem with remakes, right? With movie remakes. Like good old movies that get remade and then the remake's garbage. I know that there's no market for a remake of a crappy movie, right? But if a movie had a really good idea, has a little bit of a cult fan base, but it wasn't landed perfectly, if a good writer and a good director jumped onto that cult movie and then made it something incredible, that's something I'd be way more excited for, if that makes sense.
Mountain of chocolatey goodness, the rubber grew, and eventually they had enough to create Flexo. Now, all of the events from Mystic Comics did actually happen. In fact, Mystic was retconned to be an actual comic book within the Marvel Universe, but the stories were watered down, and we as the readers discovered that the Williams brothers left out some of the darker details, like Flexo going full Venom and eating the mad scientist. The whole bit about the robot being filled with a
Yeah, it's a lethal gas. It's very non-lethal.
lethal gas that he used to take out people was just a spontaneous cover-up. I don't actually know if Flexo is even a robot.
Yeah, the gas is just fake, dude. He just eats people.
Genuinely believe that he is 100% symbiote, because later on in the video, he goes into a liquid form and doesn't leave behind any mechanical parts. But anyway, Josh wanted the military to commission Flexo for the front lines of World War II, but his brother was skeptical. Flexo only obeys them because they feed him. So what happens when they're not around? Or what happens if someone else gives Flexo a command? Now, let's leave that foreshadowing there and move on to the present day, but don't worry, we will be going back to the 40s in like 10 seconds because time travel. So Eddie Brock was trying to steal Dr. Doom's time machine, and during their confrontation, Eddie punches the controls, it activates, and the two of them get stranded in Nazi-occupied France. At this point,
Of course, dude. Of course, some time travel. It wouldn't be a Marvel thing if they didn't throw some random time travel in.
Eddie was the god of the symbiotes and put out a psychic call for reinforcements, thinking that with all the symbiote shenanigans that happened in the Marvel Universe, surely he'd be able to pull in some backup. And thus, he summoned Flexo, who had been deployed there on a mission. Because Dr. Doom was occupied with a Nazi killing spree, which is always the right move, Eddie probes Flexo's mind so that he would know what his entire deal was, only to discover that Flexo was sent to assassinate Hitler, and by calling him there, Brock
Wow, dude, this is great, dude.
stopped him from executing his task. Eddie goes to Doom and is like, hey, we need to go back in time to prevent ourselves from going back in time, and so they do, leaving Flexo all by himself, surrounded by the death and destruction that Doom had caused. Seeing that Flexo had deviated from his target, which could have ended the war, and was the only one left standing in the French wreckage, the military naturally thought that he was responsible, and Flexo was deemed as too dangerous and unpredictable, causing the Williams brothers to put him on ice. The Scientist brothers mentioned that they took a cutting of the symbiote, which they could use to maybe one day grow a brand new Flexo. And although the Marvel Wiki claims that this would become Flexo 2, the one from the Marvel Zombies book, I'm not really buying it. I mean, yeah, that Flexo was noticeably different and had robot parts, but I mean, there's no other information to back up that that is a different character. But
my name is Robert.
I mean, I kind of like that. I like that it's just, so they built a robot. They had basically figured out the symbiote enough to where it just stretched over, kept like the head alive, the head of a person, and then attached it to a robot body. That would be cool. That'd be cool. I like that attempt. I don't like that it's the same Flexo.
Ever. This is a long forgotten comic, and it's probably just a minor continuity error that no one but the biggest comic book nerds would ever notice or even care about. I'm a big comic nerd, I don't care. But what does matter is that Flexo would stay in cryostasis for decades, but during a fight with Norman Osborn, Eddie's son Dylan accidentally damaged the storage facility where the Rubber Man was contained, allowing him to break out. Conveniently, this storyline was leading up to the Venom War event, and Dylan was assembling a symbiote army to fight his own father and his army of other Eddie Brocks from throughout the timeline.
Of course. Sorry, this is where I love Marvel and I love this type of stuff. This is very fun to watch, but it is pretty stupid how Marvel's like, and then 7 Venoms from different timelines. You're welcome.
Because comics. So, after a quick fight, Flexo was recruited to Dylan's side, and when the day of the war finally arrived, Dylan did a little fusion dance with his symbiote army to create a big amalgam superform. Eddie is like, whoa, hey dude, there is no reason to fight, let's just talk it out, I'm your dad. But Flexo takes over and shoots him, and to make things worse, Eddie is not able to properly heal from these symbiote bullets. Now, okay, we have to rewind once again. Dr. Doom had foreseen
Dear God. This is such a chaos. I love the way that this guy's layering it because it makes perfect sense. But God, is this is like so comic-y. Like, this is like the most marvelly Marvel stuff I've ever seen.
Venomore and went back in time, again, to World War II. And just like Joel Williams predicted, Doom turned Flexo into the ultimate sleeper agent, giving Flexo commands to take out Eddie at this exact moment, making it the ultimate revenge as Brock was shot by his own son. But that's not all. Separately from all of this, Doom was actually using the Venomore to play out a bet with Kang the Conqueror, because Kang also had a symbiote sleeper agent, and the two of them wanted to see which one of them was the better master manipulator. Kang did win out this contest.
That is funny, dude. That is funny how there's two ultimate Marvel villains just bored. They're fucking bored, smoking cigars. Like, what do we do this weekend? Well, I think I could manipulate the Fantastic Four better than you can manipulate the Fantastic Four. Hey, bound sand up your ass, buddy. I'm the master manipulator. And then they're
by defeating Doom by enlisting the help of the Fantastic Four and sending them to take him out while he was in the middle of reprogramming Flexo. And look, this book is completely bonkers because, okay, get this. Reed Richards saw right through Kang's manipulation and stretched his vocal cords into the perfect Dr. Doom impression and had a legion of Doombots spawn in to take out Kang as well, which freed both of the symbiote sleeper agents from the game of 5D chess with multiverse time travel they were all wrapped up in.
Makes sense. Reed Richards is the good guy. He wins the day. This is kind of dumb. This is kind of a little dumb, guys. We gotta be real here.
And really, that's it for this. Flexo wasn't around at the end of Venomore, so as far as we know, he's still out there. Maybe he'll get used again. I honestly have no idea, but boy howdy, that was one hell of a ride, and I don't know, I think it was an interesting video.
Absolutely an interesting video. This was incredible, brother. You need to we'll have to check out Comic Drakes. I'm gonna hit that sub button and that like. This guy's incredible. It makes incredible content. That was a wild ride. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Flexo history, they made him into something that could have just died in obscurity, and they pulled him out of that era. And this guy was the perfect guy to tell that story. Absolutely wonderful. Clap on the penis there, sir. Clap on the penis. But that's all I got for that one, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right. We have the most depressing and banned anime. Yeah, that's right, boys and girls. We are going to be looking at the most depressing and banned anime from Spooky Rise. Now, I've never watched anything from Spooky Rise. I have a few videos queued up today from Spooky Rise because some things tickled my wiener that I wanted to actually dive in and get a little bit more depth on that. So today we're going to be looking at Spooky Rise's most depressing anime, and I'm excited. Let's just roll into it. Let's roll those dice, baby. Let's get on the corner and throw some dice.
So vile it's banned worldwide. Shoujo Sabaki. Well, the full title is Underground Projected Dramatic Pictures Shoujo Sabaki. Class, get in your seats. Professor Spooky's ready to teach. You voted.
I've never heard of Shoujo Sabaki. I've never heard of this. I consider myself quite the comic and manga connoisseur. I've covered lots of this goonbag stuff on my platform. I constantly am doing either drama or comics or whatever the hell I want because I am the king, baby. But I have not heard of this.
See a video on Shoujo Sabaki last video. Thank you. I love you for making my week very depressing. Shoujo Sabaki means camellia girl, though shoujo is fine to describe this stock character. A girl, usually around 12 years old and completely innocent, used variously in Kamishibai paper plays throughout the late 19th and early 20th century. We TikTok era turbo nerds know this stock character from this anime, which is a shot-by-shot semi-animation of a manga called Mr. Arashi's Freak Show. In both, the girl is named Midori, who is forced to live with a psychotic, brutal group of freak show acts who abuse and torture our innocent spirit.
Of course the 12-year-old girl gets abused. Japan, you guys just can't stop, can ya?
Viewer discretion is advised. Beware for anything. I'm showing you all YouTube will allow. If you want to see what happens, including all the messed up parts, stay tuned for the breakdown. Cue the Gohan. In a dark, dry room, a woman breathes her final breaths as her daughter roams the black streets of Tokyo to save her. Dark, gritty, and unforgiving, this is how Whitechapel must have felt in the 1880s. In the middle of that darkness is this innocent beacon of light known as Midori, hoping to sell her flowers to help her sick mother. Her father left them behind. This seemingly nice man she meets offers to buy.
No, it's not a nice man. This is not a nice man, guys. Oh, I hate this stuff.
All her flowers and tells her to go home as the bright moon watches with worry. Midori must hurry to mother to help her. There is little time left. Midori races through the skinny alleyways to tell her sick mother that this man will help her out. But sadly, her mother is already dead.
Ah, unfortunate. Big no-go for saving your mom's life. That is mad unfortunate, my friend. Better luck next time.
Rats feasting and burrowing on her body. Now,
Gross, I would have left. I do not like rats. They are the scariest creature in all of existence.
the girl is alone. She must drop out of school and find the man who promised to help. Now, the time begins. Midori doesn't have much time left before she has nothing left. Reaching the address he gave, she meets the mean acts of this freak show circus, sweat dripping down and anxiety welling throughout her body as these people look at her up and down like a toy, a plaything. They assault her and even lick her eyeballs. Psychotic.
Ugh, gross. Remember, guys, this is a 12-year-old. Japan, stop. Just stop. Age up your characters, please.
And greedy to have Midori become a part of the show by biting chickens alive. What will happen? Will her life be ruined further? A blood moon.
Well, actually, sometimes in a story this does work. Like, if you want to show like true brutality, I get it. My problem with like the age in Japanese media is sometimes it's like, dude, why are you sexualizing this like 14-year-old so damn hard, brother? Why don't you just make them a college age person? The story 99% of the time does not change. They could be going to college and or university or whatever Japanese people call college. They could be going to a place of higher education, and the story could be the exact same. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that just be crazy that every time they didn't put like some like fan service person on, you didn't worry about your door getting knocked down by the endless amounts of police that want to know what you're watching?
Taps Midori awake.
There's so many shows that had interesting concepts that I get to like a certain part, and then they got like a scantily clad 14-year-old, and I'm like, nope, turning this off right now. I am not about this.
The sounds of threesome, and in the next room is even worse. The man who recruited her, Mr. Arashi, licking the eyeball of one of the young acts. The only friends Midori has is a group of puppies. She's their mommy and feeds and plays with them. Close your eyes now if you don't want to see them go to dog heaven. Unfortunately, once this freak show act pops up, this is all that remains of them. One of the most brutal.
Of course they murdered the puppies. You gotta murder the puppies. That's just, if you really want to show a character being really bad, have them brutalize a bunch of little small dogs.
Scenes of the entire anime. You can open your eyes now. Then, they all use the meat in the stew and laugh at Midori, who realizes she ate some of her dogs. She intensely cries out to the heavens above to take her to her mother. Later, she watches Kanabun here practice their fire style jutsu, but then sees that Kanabun is packing some meat. Kanabun assaults her after laughing in her face regarding the surprising meat reveal. She sleeps and dreams evil nightmares, hoping to return to her father. Her father carelessly eats, and Midori gets twisted and broken.
Oh my god, dude. This is not playing around. This is brutal. This is absolutely diabolical, dude.
Painfully pressing for her father's help as a caterpillar and snake enter inside her. You'll never know happiness as a human being, they gloat to her. It horrifies her. She awakens with a fever and doesn't mind staying in bed for the day. This is villain Midori. A new act would soon join the group, but they hate Midori. They blame Midori for putting a jinx on them. Since she came, everything is coming to shit, and we're only 13 minutes in. Soon
Good. I hope you all get obliterated. I hope you all just get your buttholes plowed in by cosmic entities of horror. You guys suck. You murder puppies. You abuse a 12-year-old girl. Y'all need to die.
The new act comes, surprising the other members by squeezing himself inside a jar and just squeezing right back out. Midori is delighted. This is the first time she smiled ever. but the other members are a little jelly. Matsumitsu is his name, and he's Jesus level, suddenly forming a bird and a rose in her hand. Oh, and of course, he's illegally attracted to the youth around here, aren't they all? Even if this is the old days. But Midori falls in love with him, the only man who isn't abusing or treating her awfully. Yet, he gives her some hope for
Ugh. Old guy sees girl, goes out. Ugh.
brightness in a dark world.
This is just gross. I understand, but it's still gross. Disgusting. Everything about this story is just vile.
A world where she can gleefully glide through the flowers, never alone and always loved. How long will this happiness last? She excitingly exclaims to the heavens that she would be happy to marry him. Midori is Matsumitsu's new aide, and she and him are the most popular acts. But they don't like that. For bringing new money to the entire group, he's treated like the biggest, baddest bitch on the block. But Mummy Man's even more jealous, all while Matsumitsu and Midori get married. Seeing her happy, they can't stand it. They rush in and tell her to start washing the clothes, but she talks back and fights like she never did before. Courage and ferocity welling from her heart to her fist, ready to fight back.
Yeah,
But the
dude, beat these guys up. Okay. I don't like that she married an old guy. That's kind of gross. Actually, not kind of. Very disgusting. But I do want to see these guys get their comeuppance. Comeuppet them to hell. Hell where they will get fellatio. I have to give fellatio to Satan. That is my goal for these losers.
strong man grabs a hold of her and throws her to the ceiling, hitting her head. He throws her again, winding his throw, but suddenly Midori is giant, Mount Lady crushing the rest of the axe. But it was all a genjutsu. Matsumitsu's Western magic is powerful. He tells all.
And of course, this anime had a panty shot of her. Why, dude? Why does Japan do this? Japan, just like normal aged women, please.
The rest of the acts to do the chores. Not my wife, Midori. Midori travels to town and buys some candy, and suddenly, the mummy man creeps behind her and tells Midori that he is in love with her. He walks away awkwardly, feeling successful, as if his weird statements steal Midori away from Matsumitsu. Suddenly, Matsumitsu places the mummy man in a genjutsu where he sinks through the sand. He sinks further into the ground, with Matsumitsu watching above, shouting that you'll never have my Midori. His broken body is found later, mud dripping out of his throat.
Well, I mean, that's fair, I guess. I mean, this guy got his comeuppance. It was all over jealousy, but it took him long enough, dude. He didn't do it. Like, he barely did anything to protect this girl. Okay, no, he did, I guess. I guess he turned her into a giant, but like, from what the dude says, he loves her. Not assaulting her isn't what does it, but telling her he loves her, that's death sentence. Not assaulting them. This is weird.
Realizing Matsumitsu killed him, Midori races away, horrified. She saw how the mummy man really died, forcibly swallowing mud to slowly and painfully suffocate. You scared me, Midori shouts out to him, but he convinces her that it should have been done. The sound and feel of rain bouncing upon them both, not yet alone. Another day, Midori gets a visit. A filmmaker wants a Shoujo Sabaki to star in his new film as the starring role. Don't stay with these villains, he says. Come with me and you'll become a star. A star with a big, comfortable house and amazing food. But Matsumitsu rips the card and imprisons her for one.
What did I tell you? He was gonna be a bad guy too. Wow. The creepy guy that wants to marry a 12-year-old ends up being a creepy guy who wants to marry a 12-year-old. Who could have ever thunk it?
To run away. During another show,
It's just really crazy, guys. Nobody could have ever seen this coming. Wow, dude, what a fucking joker.
he shouts and
Fucking Batman ear haircut.
insults his audience, calling them lazy and greedy idiots. He unleashes his powers, destroying his audience from the inside out, twisting and contorting them like a devil
What a fucking crazy power to have.
shot out of hell, changing their shapes, deforming them in a display of power that humbles like you wouldn't believe. The police race to the scene, but nothing happens. Matsumitsu is passed out, and all of the customers who were twisted went back to normal, just mentally scarred for the rest of their lives. When he awakens, Matsumitsu quits the freak show act. Time is running out. Midori is later put in a genjutsu, traveling through the bowels of her mind to experience Tokyo again, running with glee in hope to return home, squeezing along the streets and sliding through the skinny alleyways, she takes in the environment and learns. She's finally back home. Her mother is alive and her father is home. Life is great for her. However, she awakens back with Matsumitsu, who wishes to leave the country with
of course, dude. Of course she awakens with Matsumitsu, this fucking weird creep.
her. Meanwhile, Mr. Arashi, the boss, has run off with the money, leaving behind the other members. With nothing else, they wonder where they will go next, and Kanabun here begins to cut their hair for the next new psychopathic adventure. Speaking of adventure, Midori says her final goodbyes to her old abusers. Wow, it's crazy how a haircut changes you. Despite them abusing, assaulting, and almost killing her, she hopes to see them again one day as the flower.
Weird. Well, what? What? This is so weird, bro.
Flowers rain above. Matsumitsu tells her to wait here. I'll go buy you something to eat. Is this the future? A new hopeful life for the innocent girl who was thrown to hell? Suddenly, while Matsumitsu is returning with the food, a thief kills a man in front of him. Not wanting to keep witnesses alive, the thief then stabs Matsumitsu to death. This is all while Midori awakes.
Of course, dude. Of course this is exactly what happens. Yeah, this girl can't get your break. I mean, killing the creepy guy who was, like, keeping her hostage isn't, like, the worst thing, but...
him, but looking around, she can't find him. Racing through the streets, and he is nowhere to be found. It begins to seem as if she is in a nightmare, a genjutsu. She passes by this broken building various times, seeing the same man walk through and sneezing 3 times. Someone hit her with that Izanami Sharingan power. Soon, she begins to see the rest of the freak show act screaming at her and laughing. Horrified, she screams in terror and arms herself to beat them all, telling them to die, but they can't be stopped. They will always torment her. Midori will never be happy as a human being. She enters a void. It all becomes white and she cries out. Time has run out. So basically, Matsumitsu died. She races to look for him, but his body is taken away and she just begins to hallucinate out of fear, realizing
Jesus Christ, dude. This chick is so ruined. She's been obliterated, bro. She got cooked throughout life, bro. I feel so bad for this chick. Like, honestly, I do. I, like, considering the best friend and, like, her only confidant was a person who likes children. That's vile. That's, like, the most disturbing part about this entire thing is that her, like, 45-year-old husband was just a guy that liked 12-year-olds. What?
she's alone again. Either that or he puts her in a genjutsu, but the result is the same. She's alone. A tragic ending to a tragic story. This year, I've dreaded the fear of being alone. After my grandfather passed away in February, my
mad unfortunate, dude.
grandmother held us all together. I remember driving to the hospital late at night where we saw his body. That hospital smell, the sound of machines beeping from the other rooms, feeling the heat slowly.
Wow, this took a really depressing turn. I mean, the story was already depressing, let's be honest. This wasn't like rainbows and blowjobs, guys, but come on, dude. Wow, dude. I didn't know I was going to jump into grandfather death. I did not see grandfather death coming. Who would have faulted me for saying that they saw I didn't see grandfather death coming? This came out of like left field.
Leave from his body. It was a tough night where my grandmother held us all strong. But sometimes I fear that I'll find her gone too, passed away in her bed, like how I saw my
Oh, Jesus. Poor guy. Hey, buddy, it's gonna be okay, man. You need here's a virtual tap on the shoulder there, pal. Dear God, this is depressing.
Father, and then I'll be alone. Sometimes I'll check on her and just watch her sleep to make sure I can still.
No, dude. Oh God, he's just like creepily standing over his grandmother's bed. I get you're scared that she's gonna die, but like, chill a little bit, brother. Chill a little bit.
See her breathing, but she's getting healthier and stronger. She doesn't even have to do dialysis 3 times a week anymore, and shows me I shouldn't let my fears bind me down, that I should live with my head high. My grandfather wanted me to live and do what I needed to do, so hold my hand, Midori. You're not alone with the Spooky Rice crew. The story was Despair Food. Over 5,000 sheets of animation over a 5-year period was used to create what we just watched, all by one man, Hiroshi Harada, who not surprisingly worked on various various Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts games. Remember, this is based on a manga created by Suehiro Maruo. No wonder Weekly Shonen Jump rejected some of his dark work, which is often called contemporary muzane. Muzane were basically dark, grotesque ukiyo-e, which would inspire literally every piece of Japanese horror you've ever seen. Yeah, maybe that's where Muzan gets his name from. Midori is Arrow Girl. This story walked so that My-chan's daily life could run, and that's why you should watch this video on Wicked City. Wicked City is a really gory,
I've thought about watching Wicked City a few times. It's one I will eventually watch on my own. I'm excited, but I just never get around to it.
crazy anime from the same time period. Think Men in Black with nudity and gore. You'll love it. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more messed up stuff. Thanks for watching. Spooky out.
That was incredible. That was a really good video. I'm gonna hit that sub button. He's gonna get that like. That was really, really, really good. I was vibing with that really hardcore, not gonna lie. Stop. What are you doing? I don't want to watch Philip DeFranco. Why would I watch Philip DeFranco, bro? Like, what are we talking about here? But yeah, that was an incredible video. I have to say, this guy makes some content that is good. I like it. But anyways, we're gonna jump into something called Crossed. Now, I've never heard of Crossed. I lost my train of thought there because I saw somebody walking across my house, which is my family. But anyways, like and subscribe, whatever. We're gonna jump into something called Crossed. This is by Spooky Rice again. We liked their video a lot last time. I thought he made an incredible work of art, but I've never heard of Crossed. It's not something I know anything about. But I just saw this red cross on somebody's face on a thumbnail and said, I have to watch that. Now, this isn't that long of a video, but I am very excited because I think Spooky Rice makes incredible videos. And also, he needs to stop hovering over his grandmother's bed. That is, well, maybe don't. I mean, I don't know. I hope your grandma gets better. That's all I can say, Spooky Rice. But anyways, let's jump right into the most twisted crossed love story.
Y'all voted for more Cross. Here it is, Mr. Cool. Look, we've been talking about all the stories in Cross Badlands, an anthology series showing humanity trying to survive against an infection that makes the infected do the worst thing they could do to the uninfected. This is
so kind of like zombies, but more like rage-filled angst. They're angsty zombies.
Conquers all volume of Cross, showing a strangely intelligent Cross compelled to find fine shit. A smart Cross for once? Now, I gotta censor even more than usual now. YouTube said cut it out. But still, this comic is a bucket of fuck. It's a bucket of buck. If you want to see what happens, including all the messed up.
Oh my god, dude. YouTube's mad ruining like creative endeavors. I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's so hard to like have something creative. I have to fight. I made like a few crime stories, right? I made a few crime stories that were like my edited content, and I purposely don't add in as many visuals as people like this, because every time I do, I get hit with that demonetization button, so I just start pulling everything out, and then it's just gameplay. It's just me yapping over gameplay, which is unfortunate, and it kind of pulls me away from wanting to do this type of stuff. Not like I'm saying I'm not telling you to not do it. I'm just saying that sometimes it's a little unsettling to like work hard on something only for YouTube to slap it down when you know that there's goonbag stuff on this platform. There is some like diabolical stuff on this platform that that probably breaks some laws, and they're not censoring that, but oh well, we're gonna get this, or they're like, oh well, we're just gonna keep a lot of this AI slop content. Like, I make slop, right? I do. A lot of my content on my channel is slop. I do edit my own videos on Fridays, but there is a ton of slop that's just like robot voice, this is Piggly Wiggly Figgly Diggly, and Piggly Figgly Wiggly Dilly has been a bad boy, and it's just brain rot. There's a lot of that on here, and that gets monetized. Why is this, why is stuff that's cool and art-filled getting demonetized? There's my soapbox. You're welcome. King Jiffy Coats ranting.
Parts, stay tuned for the comic. Cue the Gohan. Officer Serena Long's been hiding in her office for 2 days since the cross apocalypse started. If I show you what is happening outside this office, I'm cooked. But she's fine. She's loved and been loved. And who did she love? Matthias Vichniak. She has faith she will see him again. But he's cross. Yet, unlike
Yeah, dude. Of course he's like zombified.
most cross, he isn't compelled to do evil. He still seems to be infected with love. A love that blossomed when they first met. Serena was the parole officer to this Grand Theft Auto.
Dude, that's kind of funny, dude. Dude, could you, like, you know how many guys probably went into her office thinking she was a bad mamma jamma on legs, and they wanted to get a little taste of that sweet berry of fruit or something, and obviously they were goonbags, and this guy sealed the deal, brother. He made a correct choice in life, and now he's got himself the parole officer that loves him.
Antagonist. Yet despite being a violent sociopathic thug and a bigger addict than Elon, there is something different about him. Ironically, he walked away from harming innocents. He only hurts other cross. Their love started one night when he broke parole, getting twerked on at the club, not a care in the world, and she comes to arrest him. Let's just say those handcuffs were used for something messy that
Oh, she's being a goon bag. Terrible parole officer, by the way. Absolutely awful parole officer. But this man is a very lucky man.
night. They play Gerald's game. Matthias, despite being cross, is determined to find her, and she still sees he's alive due to the ankle monitor. Can they still be together when the world is in ruins? Yet, in the midst of this hell, he walks.
Bro, he has to blur so much, brother. Oh, how unfortunate that we live in a world where art is just dumbed down to this level. It's all for advertisers too. It's like for the advertisers, right? But you look at this and it's like, okay, well, HBO gets advertisers. How do they make that work, right? I don't know. My thought on the advertising is if these platforms actually took a step back and let a little more freedom happen, a little more freedom in the art form happen, and maybe separated the tiers a little bit stronger. Like it was like, okay, this is adult, but you can still make just as much money on adult because we have advertisers that want to advertise on these more adult oriented stuff, and then we have below adult and then child, right? You could have these three tiers where you still make money, but once you get hit with that 18 over thing, they cook your channel. They cook your video. It's dead. It's gone.
Closer and closer.
I just think that they should work better with advertisers who are willing to because if you're a big enough channel, like if your videos get enough views, you know that there is some advertiser out there who wants the people just to see their stuff. Like Adam and Eve probably is one. I don't know. It's like Blue Chew. There's a billion of these advertisers. YouTube just needs to open the floodgates and let them be on certain advertising tiers.
Tour. The things happening around this man in this one panel is so twisted I can't even. Fuck. Serena sees he's close, but she's ready to end it all if necessary. Only problem is these kids next door brats holding up the door. I can't show you what he did to them. It's worse than what Anakin did to
Bro, yeeted some children, but they're demon children, so you gotta do what you gotta do, brother. Sometimes you gotta smack a demon child.
younglings. Serena recalls.
As long as they're like infected with the crust, or like zombies, I guess that's fair. I don't want people like watching my video and then going beating children. I don't support violence toward children. There we go.
It's his backstory. He had the worst father in history before ending up in the United States working for the Russian mob. Damn, even I give a damn about him now. He even turns out to be a very loving partner. I kind of feel bad for insulting him, but he sure loves to yap about Russian authors all day, and it's that complexity that made Serena fall in love with him. He's not just a thug, he even cries when she says that she
He even cries. He has emotion.
loves him too. But it's this painful fact that almost doomed them even before the cross. The Russian mob has found out about his relationship with a cop. Is either kill her or be killed. In the present, she cries, thinking she ruined his life, all while he's at the lower levels trying to find her, only to run into Putin with extra pounds. One more issue left. How will this love arc conclude. So
This is sick, dude. This is so good, dude. I'm actually... So, now that I know what the cross is, I really don't care anymore about this universe. It looks like just zombies, but they're like aggro zombies, or like very sexual assaulty zombies. But this love triumphs all message, I'm always a sucker for this, guys. I just am.
hell is on Earth, and Serena begins thinking about leaving hell on her terms. One with love still in her heart. All the while, bro is tweaking out before Hulk smashing his former boss all over the jail room. And then he starts returning to his long-lost love, yet this boss battle holds painful memories. Matthias was marked for death by the Russian mob, and the last time he ever saw her, he tried to convince her.
There was it was like a gnat. There was a gnat flying around in here, and I used my ancient abilities of profound martial arts to catch it. I want you guys to know that's something that happened in the background over here. On my side of things, it was like, and I was like, and I like caught it. It was like pretty nutso, not gonna lie.
To leave with him. She cried, thinking she can't just run away from her life. But she's hiding a big secret. In the past, she led him to a storage closet, saying she can't leave because she was using him. She used him to get to his boss so that the police could arrest the both of them. That ankle monitor shows everywhere he went. Hearing that, he just stares at her and truly became the monster that he always was. He SAs her in that closet.
What a loser. God damn it. God damn it. I thought we were going to have a love triumphs all story, but it just became an assault story. Unfortunate. God damn it. Every time I get a little bit hyped about something and I'm like, I'm liking where this is going, the universe slaps me down, brother. It punches me right in the uterus. This is not what anybody wants to see.
And that is the last time he ever saw her. Right after walking out of the station, he was attacked by Cross and infected. In the present, right as he is outside of the door of the storage closet, she says, "I'm sorry, Maddie, but you did this to yourself."
Well, unfortunate.
He breaks in, seeing the corpse of Serena.
Dear God. Well, that sucks. We don't get a love story today, boys and girls. We get depressing, bullet salad. Jesus.
However, she's been gone for days. We were
Great.
led to believe that Matthias's journey to find her happened at the same time as when she recorded her final message. The truth is, he's been in a cycle. For days, he would look for Serena, finding her body, and then indulging in drugs that only turned him into a complete cross, ridding his memory before waking up and starting the entire cycle of finding her all over again. The volume ends with the Fyodor Dostoevsky quote, "The second half of a man's life is made up of nothing but the habits he accumulated during the first half." Now, I'd say
that's super unfortunate. Wow, dude. What a depressing ending. The dude's just constantly starting over and over and over again. But I mean, he kind of deserved it. He did definitely assault a woman. He definitely wasn't a great guy. He just kept being a gangster.
This cross volume had an interesting premise. The main character, despite being villainous, was more complex than Steve from the last video, that sociopath, or even Yellow Belly, that idiot. Also, check out the previous cross episodes if you want to go down that rabbit hole, or you can watch my video on...
Well, this was incredible. I do not like the ending. I'm a sucker for a happy ending, even if he would have, like, killed her in the moment, or she shot him and then shot herself. I guess that would have been a much better... I think that would have been a way better turn of events. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I call me a sucker, but I like a good happy ending. I always have liked a good happy ending, but whatever, dude. That's unfortunate. I'm big sad. We... Darn. What are you gonna do? But anyways, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one, boys and girls.
From idea to submission, empower students to do their...
All right, so we have ourselves quite the we're checking out quite the next interesting thing. This is called the final boss of Freaky Artists. Now, there is this is by Nerdimentator. It's like Nerd Terminator, Nerditator. It's by Nerdimentator. Anyways, this is about the final boss of Freaky Artists. I already know that there's one artist out there who did the Roni Kenshin thing. That yeah, that guy is in jail for liking kids, which is vile. So we're gonna see where this guy lines up on his freakiness of being an author. I'm very excited to see where this goes, or like depressed to see where this goes, just to see the folly of man, I guess. But let's dive right into it.
The random behind shots of female characters in 2000s Marvel Comics? Or remember when Eve discovered her powers while fighting against Conquest? She also realized she can adjust her body parts, so she gave herself a
Hey, I don't know if I think that's just the good kind of freaky. It's like, oh, if I could adjust my body parts, I would have an average penis instead of a mightily below average penis. I would be killing it on the non-micro scale. I'd lose some of my intellect. I would happily lose it sometimes.
What about when Starfire used to get offended if someone reminded her that she has a boyfriend because she used to believe that she could sleep with whoever she wants, wherever she wants, with or without her boyfriend's consent?
Unfaithful trollop. Starfire, you need to stop sleeping around. Stop being a whore, Starfire. It's not very cool of you.
When she used to walk around kids looking like this.
Bro, look at her just being a baddie, bro. Starfire was crazy. Starfire was like Starfire versus from the comic books versus the Teen Titans show. Diabolical. Also, does anybody else remember that when HBO there was before HBO Max, there was like HBO Max, and then there was this other one that was like DC Max or DC Plus, where the only thing that they had on that channel was the reboot of Titans that was live action. It was not good. It like the first 3 episodes were okay. Everything after that was just garbage. It was so bad.
Well, these are just a couple of examples of how the 2000s comics used to look like. Skin-tight suits, bikini shorts.
You mean the good days? That's like the 90s, brother. But yeah, the good days of comics.
Ripped off shirts and huge knockers all
I mean,
over.
that was the guys too, though. Every guy was like overly muscular. Okay, they always bring up the women, but we're gonna look up the men. Yeah, people always like talk about the women, but 90s men comics. We're gonna look at this up, dude, because in like the 50s, they looked normal. But if you look at the dudes, right? We look at the dudes. We go here. Oh god, I'm so like Spider-Man was jacked in the 90s, bro. Spider-Man was just yeeted. McFarlane drew like massive muscles. Everybody was like giantly oversized, over muscular. You think any guy looks that way? Like Deadpool. Deadpool was fucking massive, brother. Cable came from the 90s, and this guy is unreasonably body proportioned. So it wasn't just people like to say that it was like women only, but men were wearing like skin tight, like you're telling me. You could like see you can see where the doctor cut off the hoodie of Cyclops' penis, dude. Like guys were obnoxiously massive too, and they were running around in spandex. It just isn't like come on. There's like one guy who's kind of close to this, and that's Henry Cavill. People like to act like it was like objectification. I mean, it is objectifying, but it's also like cool, I guess. I don't mind this type of shit. I never have. It's like, oh, it's an imaginary world. Come on.
The place. Not to mention that NSFW artists such as Bruce Timm, Greg Land, or in this case Jim Ballant would get more work than anyone else because of the way they draw female characters. But unlike the other two, Jim couldn't tell the difference between drawing for a superhero company and drawing for a certain adult website. Just for example, these are a couple of his works I can show on YouTube, and don't worry, they get way freakier.
I mean, so Again, dude, like, I thought we were gonna talk about, like, so his is funny. There's actual creeps and freaks that used to be writers or creators in the comic universe that were actually diabolical. These guys just liked a hot woman. I don't think that's a crime to draw a woman incredibly sexy, or even to draw a man over sexy, like with 87 pounds of muscle. I don't think that's a crime. I don't think that's that freaky. That's just the normal human reaction.
He even went on to write his own comics revolving around hunted vaginas and naked werewolves and witches who breastfeed crows, which we'll get
that's a little wild. Breastfeeding crows is a little bit wild.
into in a bit. But don't expect
Naked werewolves? I mean, that just seems like a normal day on Blue Sky.
me to explain why his company is called Broadsword with a logo of a lady holding a sword. That one is pretty self-explanatory. Anyways, Mr. Jim Balent hit the jackpot in the early 80s when he got accepted to draw Sergeant Rock comics for DC Company. After that, he went on to work on Batman, then Lobo, then finally Catwoman series from 1993 to 1999, which was when he gained his confidence on drawing females more provocatively. Just for reference,
Dude, that Catwoman goes hard, but not as hard. Not as hard as Halle Berry Catwoman. Halle Berry Catwoman is the peak of Catwoman design. Terrible movie. One of the worst superhero movies ever made. It's not even kind of watchable. But other than the fact that Halle Berry is incredibly hot throughout the entire filming process, she was like a goddess in that outfit, bro. Love that movie. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 costume design. 0 out of 10 story.
this is how he drew Catwoman in the first versus this is how he drew Catwoman in the last chapter. And by the time the comic was done, DC liked his work so much that they gave him another spin-off of the character to work on so he could show us more of his creative artistic side.
Based.
Needless to say, DC was more than happy to give him more work, and even
Well, and
more-
here's the thing. This is what a lot of people don't understand. It used to be the market base, and this is like comics have been in the decline for a while, especially American comics. There's a few different factors, right? One factor is the fact that they've moved away from this type of art style, which sex sells. I'm sorry. Oh, am I the guy to tell you that? Am I the crazy goonbag that is hitting you with the realization that sex sells, baby? It just does. And when you're marketing a bunch of comics to the people who buy comics the most, which are like nerdy teenage to college boys, right? High school, like it's like middle school to college age guys. That's what is going to be buying comics. And then like the other, like, I mean, it probably has a span all the way across, but it's a majority men reading base. There is a female reading base. I'm not saying they don't exist, but if you were to look at the numbers, it's probably more male. Now, another thing is the sex sells, right? Another problem American comics have is the fact that they overuse the same characters so much. They just aren't coming up with enough original stuff. They want to milk a character until they're absolutely gone and in the dirt. It's one of the reasons like why manga's kind of taken over in this little realm, is because you can get into a story, get it from beginning to end, done with story, moving on to the next story. That character had its great run. It was perfect. They did everything right. Time to move on. Sometimes you get a spinoff or something, but they never jeopardize the original character. But when it comes to Marvel and DC and Image, what they do is they just, well, not really Image, but what they do is they just milk these characters until they're just insufferable. Even some of my favorites get milked to absolute death. It is a problem. So a lot of these are both big factors that have led to a decline in comics, as well as just kind of an overall bad writing style. I think the modern comics have kind of had like there's this weird like writing style that has kind of hit the world that is like, oh, he's right behind me, ooh, and it's like self-flatulating on itself. But that's just a minor thing. I wouldn't say that is as big as the other two. I think the other two, the oversaturation and the lack of sexiness has definitely hurt the comic industry. And if you want to disagree with me with that, I think you're just wrong. I mean, when I was like a teenage boy, right? When I was a young lad, if I walked into a store and there was like a reasonably drawn female character Catwoman and then a sexy female character drawn Catwoman comic, I am buying the sexy Catwoman comic, obviously. There's like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the same thing as if I went to grab a Blade comic and Blade was morbidly obese. and had like his katana just holding it, and just a big fat guy, compared to an in shape like buff blade, I'm gonna get the buff blade. It just makes more sense. I'm sorry about body positivity, guys. It's just the way the normal mind works.
Marvel wanted a piece of him, but for some reason he decided the best move for him is to make his own company to make fan servicey comics about witches and witchcraft, since he believed the world needed to know more about witches. In fact, he was so into witchcraft that he would even give tutorials about casting a fan favorite spell at the end of each issue of his comic. And I use the term comic very loosely, since after he went solo, the difference between his work and hentai comics became unrecognizable. Like a legit mean it.
Hey man, let the artists do what they want to do. I'm cool with that. If you want to make goonbag art, that's fine. Like it is up to you, brother. I mean, like my problem with like the hentai world and stuff, and like all of that. I just think if you're beating off to drawings, it's a little bit weird. What like. I don't know. It's a drawing, brother. Anyways, another thing, like, my thought process on the whole thing is like, is like, why do Japanese comics like always like, we're gonna do 12-year-olds, and you're like, shoot it, burn it with the fire. That's my biggest problem with that whole realm, is it's always like, she was 14 and going to high school, burn it with fire, shoot it, burn it with fire. This should not exist in the realm of humanity. Why aren't they in college or something?
I say you can't show it on YouTube. You either have to search it up yourself or use your imagination. But that being said though, it's amazing how everyone at first thought that his work wouldn't last more than 3 chapters, yet he went on to prove everyone wrong by publishing 140 something.
Yeah, dude, what did I say? Sex sells. It's so funny how I was proven unequivocally right so fast. People like to, like, I think a lot of these comic companies listen to, like, a bunch of these whiny fucking losers who want to, like, make everything about social issues. When, at the end of the day, sex fucking sells, brother. What are you gonna do about it?
Issues and more. And the fact that he even went on to help other independent publishing companies with their freaky comics just goes on to show that he wasn't just in it for the money. But I'm curious to know what you guys think of
Yeah,
it.
dude, what do you know about that? What do you know about that? These people who want to, like, suppress and, like attack artists, but then there's also these people that are like, hey, I make this type of stuff. I like drawing this way. I'm going to keep making based art, right? I'm going to keep making based art. And cool, let's go. Fucking awesome. I'm gonna also like build up other artists. And that's kind of like I'm gonna self-flagellate for a small second here. But when I created my Creepcast knockoff, I wanted to make sure that I didn't just build another Creepcast, right? And I saw that they had done some good steps toward allowing people to freely post their stories a lot better. But I was like, I want to be part of that as well. I want to also create a safe space for writers. So I created a subreddit for artists and stuff called for my Haunted Router channel, that you're allowed to post all your favorite creepy stories. Where we're not gonna blast you into into oblivion because you said retard, or you you get a little bit grotesque or a little smutty. I'm not gonna attack you for that. I think that like the best thing for art is to let it roam freely, right? To let it roam freely and do its thing. Now, I don't think we should sexualize children. That is probably something that I would 100% something that I'd probably nuke your story out. If your main character is a like a 12-year-old female marrying like a 25-year-old, and there's no it's just like, I don't know. Just don't do that. How about don't do that? I don't get down with that like weird lolly stuff. I just don't. But this is like one of my things. Is you should. It's always funny that like you can have this world where you want to build up artists, and that's what I want to do. I want to like help people build up themselves. So that's even when I'm like looking at other creators that are smaller like me, I tend to like to watch their videos first on a subject, because I think we all deserve a little more recognition and a little bit. I want to build up more people like myself to bigger standards. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Oh, like and subscribe. All right. We got a little bit more time. We got a little bit more time here. Ooh, Chief and Doom. I saw this from Halo Follower. Now, I have been a fan of Halo Follower for quite a long time. I used to watch his Halo content. I'm a big Halo fan. It was the first game that I ever fell in love with, was Halo 2. It was absolutely, but I saw he did this animation. I saw he did this animation about like him and Master Chief and Doom Guy being like best friends. And I knew for a fact that I have to watch this. And one, I love this channel. I think he's incredible at what he does. You look at his channel, I mean, he has some of the most, you go to his videos, dude, we'll go to popular. The dude has like the greatest catalog of Halo content ever put on the world. The guy is incredible at what he does. I love this guy. I've always loved this guy. So if you have never heard of Halo Follower, which is crazy, why am I not subscribed? Go check out his content. He makes great stuff. But this idea of like Master Chief and the Doom Guy having a rom-com, that is so cool. And now he's got multiple episodes up now. He's got multiple episodes up. So we're going to have to, this is going to be a series that I want to like spend time with. I want to like fully fall in love with. But let's get right into episode 1.
What did I say about leaving your chainsaw in the kitchen sink? Living with Doomslayer is, well, looks like he's had a bit much to drink.
Bro, Doomslayer's an alcoholic, like, just, it's like living with a toddler. They're not like, they act like an alcoholic, destructive, zone of chaos. That is exactly what toddlers do. I'm looking at my little child right now, and she's just wandering around like an aimless drunk person with a cracker in her hand, thinking about what she can destroy next, which is adorable, but also puts a bunch of chaos in your life that you didn't know you were ready for.
Again. It's not lore accurate.
It's not lore accurate. Bro is instantly in his feelings. I haven't watched that death battle yet, but I mean, it is fair to say that the Doomslayer would beat Master Chief. I don't even think that it's much of a thought process. Like, Master Chief is one of the strongest, like, protagonists out there, but the Doomslayer is just another level of like hard metal. Like, that's why Halo's like, oh, it's like more menacing. He's more menacing, and like he has the spirit of triumph where he's the underdog that keeps pushing through. Doomslayer isn't the underdog. Dude, he is slap his mushroom tip on your forehead and then blow up the entire universe, guy.
Dooming all over you.
I need a beer.
Losers drink Cosmopolitans.
Honestly.
Losers drink Cosmopolitans. Go drink your fucking Cosmopolitan, little bitch boy.
Even though Doom Guy has his quirks, he can be a powerful ally. Like when Cortana broke up with me.
There, buddy.
Cortana's a bitch, by the way. Fuck you, Cortana. Fuck you, Cortana. I haven't had you you haven't popped up into my videos lately, but you're always there. She's always there, wandering my house aimlessly, being an absolute whore.
I know it's hard to lose your girlfriend/mom.
Yeah, what?
You need a rebound.
Your girlfriend/mom?
My friend. She could be your new AI girlfriend/mom.
Hi, you're very cute. But you're in weird stuff, aren't you?
Depends on the mission.
Depends on the mission. So, oche wapapta, okatawa, otsite papa, oh, Master Chief a penis. Bro, they're gonna be okay, dude. Master Chief got himself a little fucking anime girlfriend, and it's not even a body pillow. He's upping his game from the typical weeb.
Oh, man. They pit us against each other, Chief. And you know what? I love you, brother.
Maybe you should slow down on the drinks.
I love you, man. Cortana doesn't know what she's missing out on, man.
Dude, he flails around like a psychopath. I love Doomslayer, guys. Doomslayer's that crazy drunk friend. I love him. He's just, look at his head. His head's like disforming from his body.
I love you too, Doom Guy. As much as a straight man can love another straight man.
This is what the world needed right now. This is what the world needed was this friendship duo. There's been a lot of animosity between these two communities over the years, and mainly the old PC Doom guys hate Halo for some reason. I don't know why they hate Halo. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. They're like, it slowed down the game, and I'm like, Halo's awesome. Stop. Stop being a little whiny boy. But I think that we need to just put out a branch of love between each other, guys. This is what we need.
Maybe we should finish this beer and leave Doomguy.
No! Must kill all demons!
Ah, not again.
Oh, you're the big, mean demon slayer.
You're the big, mean demon slayer. What was that game? There was literally a game called like Hedon or something, or where you play as like a demon goth mommy. And it's just Doom, but you play as a demon goth mommy. Hey, great joke, brother. Bro's cooked. Bro's lost to the plot, bro.
Doomguy has a certain type.
Doomguy secretly likes demon goth mommies. We already knew that was true, boys and girls.
So,
bro, he's gonna get married to her. Oh my god, I love this. I love it so much.
She gave me chlamydia.
Oh, dude, he got the clap, bro. Way to get a round of applause. I love it.
The hell kind.
Oh, this is amazing. Oh my god, this is exactly what the internet needs to see. The internet needs oh god, how many views did this get? Not enough. This needs 10 gajillion views. It got 328,000. It needs 10 gajillion. I need to have this playing at Madison Square Garden. This needs to be at Times Square playing on a continuous loop. Everybody needs to be inundated with this series. We will definitely watch more of this in the future. I am such a insane fan of this. But that's all I got on that one, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Oh my god, dude, I am so happy with this, like with that. Oh, that is so good, dude. There's episode 1, then episode 2. Oh, dude, we have enough time. We are gonna jump into episode 2. So we're going into Halo Followers Chief and Doom episode 2. This is my new favorite series on all of the internet. This is an absolute, like, gangbusters, brilliant series where I think that this series alone will heal all the animosity that the Doom and Halo fan bases had against each other. Mainly just the weird internet fan bases, because they want to argue which one's better, and I think that they're different enough that you can love them both. The first episode made me happier than the first time I ate ice cream out of a woman's butt. So I am so excited to get into the second episode. Let's roll right into it, boys and girls.
How do I look, Doomguy?
You look like my best friend. Oh, wait, you got a little something right there.
Where?
Dude, what a friend move, bro. What a friend move. He's like, hey, can you put your hand in front of your face? Wham! Oh, you just got cooked, you loser.
Now you look great.
Good job, Helldivers.
Oh my god, dude, what is going on with her front section? I've seen thumbnails from Halo Follower with this front section. That is ridiculous. I like it though. I'm not gonna say that my face is in the way. There you go. So let's just cover the important. Let's cover the unimportant parts with my face. Look how much extra flam jam we got there. Dear Jeebus.
Holy sh**. I have no idea who you are.
Such a big fan, Chief. Can I hug?
Oh my god, dude, the amount of bouncing we got here, dude. Amount of physics. The whole budget went to one thing, these boobs.
You?
Can someone get this Spartan a chest plate?
Chief! No. And I'm guessing you're the valet guy. Here, park my space car, will you? Park it in the Galactic Commander spot.
Yeah, dude, Chief could like literally kill all the creatures that the Helldivers are trying to kill in like 1 minute. They're honestly just kind of weenie little bobinis compared to Master Chief.
Are we doing this?
He outranks me.
Careful, gentle with it, slow.
I wasn't trained to parallel park.
Just imagine it's Cortana. Stop! Oh.
The Cybertruck just instantly explodes.
Run.
Run.
Bro, we're living in a world where sitcoms are trying when this sitcom is fucking going through the moon. To the moon, baby. Needs more views. This only got like 230 or 220,000 something. This needs a gajillion, like I said about the last one. Come on, guys.
Did someone order pizza?
Oh my-
Pizza?
Oh my god, dude. If this happens to you in real life, run. This is somebody that wants to steal your entire bank account and then murder you.
Spartan Maddie, are you stalking me?
Well, that depends on the definition, the context, the laws. Oops. Oh, God. Goodness. Chief, excuse me.
Jesus, bro. What is she doing, dog? She wants that Master Queef power so bad, brother.
Hi. Want some pizza?
No. She Master Queefs. He's Master Chief. He's gonna Master Plug that Master Queef.
Oh my god. Does it come with milk?
Maddie.
Jesus Christ. Does it come with milk? Those mama jammas need to be sucky-wuckied.
Why is there pineapple on this pizza?
Listen.
Because pineapple on pizza is delicious, Master Chief. You take that blasphemy somewhere else.
I heard the news. I'm really sorry Cortana broke up with you. What a dumb bitch. Do you need a hug?
No, I need a beer.
Do you like sours?
Out of the question.
Do you want a cider?
Do I look like a bitch?
You want a chomp chucker?
A what?
Is something burning?
God.
His crotch is on fire from hell chlamydia. Dude's hell chlamydia just flared up.
That's why you wear protection, Doom Guy. You need a doctor.
No, only an exorcist can fix this problem. Call Father Matthew. I tell him it's 2016 all over again.
Stand back, Maddie.
No. She has a restraining order against me.
I remember.
Chief, I think I'm ready to settle down.
I agree, Doom Guy.
Oh my god, dude, did you see Dead Space guys chilling with them? Let's go, dude. Oh, this universe just keeps getting a little bit bigger and brighter.
Your taste in women is terrible.
Isaac, can you come to the bathroom with me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just feel safer with a man near me.
Okay, yeah, I can protect you. Ah! God, okay.
Dude, poor Isaac is his pelvis is gonna get crushed, brother. She has too much power in those thighs for Isaac to handle it.
Okay, be right back, guys. Ah, fuck.
He's going to regret that, isn't he?
She told me she was going to fix him. So yes, he's going to regret it.
No. I've seen the memes where it's like those two together, but I don't want them to have sex. This is too much, brother. No, Doom Guy. Leave the puppy alone. Leave the puppy alone.
Ah, yeah. I'm Doom Guy. I like to rip and tear. You're a very cute little puppy. Woof woof. Would you like a treat?
I want to cut my eyes out of my head. This needs less views. To save humanity, this needs less views. Oh my god, my eyes are burning.
Or maybe a dance?
This is new levels of disturbing, but it's also the most beautiful thing I've seen on the internet.
Something's wrong, Chief. I don't want to rip and tear. I want to hug and be emotionally available. I think I'm in love.
Master Chief's like, I fucking hate you, brother. You suck so bad.
Doom Guy, did you f*** a dog?
He most certainly had sex with a dog. What a goblin. Oh my god, what a change in events, my brother. What world do we live in? I love it, and this is amazing. Anyway, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. You're all beautiful and wonderful. And with that, we are done for the day. I have provided you with ample amounts of content in this stream. I hope you all love me unconditionally and provide me with endless amounts of ad revenue. That is what I hope out of every single one of my videos that hit the internet. Yes, I know you're laughing. My baby is, I am bouncing my child on my knee. If you look in the very bottom corner of the thing, you can see like a head moving sometimes. That is my child. Ah, look at that hairline. And she's got a hairline of the greats. My daughter will be the super lawyer, doctor, president of the universe. But that's all I got for you guys. Make sure to send me lots of love and attention because I desperately need it, I guess, maybe. Goodbye.